We're not playing Marines today. We're not playing Tau today. It's a minor fucking miracle. You're playing Nids, right?
Yes.
Fuck.
But you're playing Marines.
Sort of. At least they're Chaos. They're
Chaos. So
they're special Marines. They're like the Marines from the
But like I put it when we first pitched this battle, we're doing the bottom of the barrel.
We're actually gonna get close combat though. It's gonna be interesting. Now this is weird. You don't have any formations in your list.
No, I don't even have a Flyrant.
Wow. That's very strange.
No, it's not even Nids. It's something else.
Why don't you have like a giant Titan or something in this totally skirmish game that we play?
Because I haven't bought one yet.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And also, that'd be like half my points.
Yeah. I was going to run a Titan, and then I remembered I was a decent human being.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you. I actually had bel'akor today, which is weird.
Oh, wait, are you saying I can't use Space Marine allies?
No.
No? I can't pod in my Tyrant?
No.
Oh,
well, you probably could, technically. I don't even know anymore. I haven't looked at the allies chart recently. Who knows what they've done. So yeah, 2,000 points again, because 1,500 points is not as good, but it is. No, I just want to run more shit. I guess you did too, right?
Same.
Yeah. Alright, we'll be back with the standard deployment stuff, the explanation of terrain, the lengthy explanation of terrain, and see you in a minute. Here's 2,000 points of my Count as Chaos Marine, so as always Death Watch because I am cheap. Let's start right at the back over here. This big imposing dude is my Count as bel'akor. Now you'll notice he is bigger than bel'akor, and that is a disadvantage in every way. Moving on, we got 3 Nurgle spawn here. 2 Oblets, also with a Nurgle upgrade, shocking. I'm seeing the theme here. We've got my Nurgle Chaos Terminator Lord with a Power Fist, Burning Brand of Scalathrax, 4+ Invul save, and I think I have to roll for his mutation. Then we've got 3 separate units of Plague Marines that are identical. They all have 2 plasma guns in each, and the Rhinos each have a combi bolter as normal and a combi plasma. Back behind them, we have 6 Nurgle Bikers, also with 2 plasma, and the champion has a Power Axe. Beside him, we have a Nurgle Mutilator, because they can Deep Strike. We have a Count as Forge Rolled Plague Drone, I think? Or what's that guy?
Blight Drone?
Blight Drone, I always fuck that up. Blight Drone. Next to him, we have 10 Cultists with no upgrades. And last, but certainly not least, we have Havocs in the back there, who have also been given Mark of Nurgle, and 4 Count as autocannons. So yeah, that's 2,000 points. And for my Warlord trait, I'm doing Master of Originality, aka Master of Ambush.
So here is my Nids list. As you can probably already tell, it's very unconventional.
No Flyrants.
Yeah, no Flyrants, no Spores, no Biovores. None of the, or no Lictors.
No Bastion.
Either. Yeah, no Bastion. There's no Bastion. That's not what these are. But I'll get to what I actually do have. Here I got Swarmlord, which again is a unconventional unit with 2 Tyrant Guard. I have 3 Zoanthropes with a Neurothrope in this Tyrannocyte, which has Death Spitters, which are obviously there. You just can't see them. I've got 11 Gargoyles. I've got 3 Warriors with a Barb Strangler. Here I've got 8 Gene Stealers, and in that squad I got 6 plus Broodlord. Here I have 20 Gaunts in this Tyrannocyte. 12 of them have Devourers, and 8 of them have Fleshborers. I have 2 Exocrines, 10 more Termagants here. I've got a Tyrannofex with an Acid Spray and Desiccator Larvae. And then I've got 9 Rippers in that swarm there. And also, because we're allowed to pick our own Warlord traits for this, I chose to give him Master of Originality as well. Because it's the only Warlord trait worth taking.
And now for our lengthy terrain discussion / dictation. So, as usual, we have some ruins on the board. My head may or may not be getting cut off. That's a ruin, and that's a ruin, and that's a ruin, and that's a ruin, and that pretty much everything's a ruin. The stuff that aren't ruins, mind you. So these guys, they are not destructible, they're just impassable. All that means is the tank can't fucking drive through them. You can still, roll a 3, climb up over them. They'll work kind of like climbing in a ruin, just you can't destroy them, can't move through them. We have destructible terrain. Now, this might shock you, but destructible terrain is in the rulebook. You'll be okay. It's very simple. You move into it, you take a dangerous terrain check. If you pass it, you remove it. If you're an MC, you lucky bastard, you can just step on it and remove it. So very simple. Almost all the low cover you can see around the table, here, over there, all 5+. This guy here is a bit of a special case. Still a ruin, still going to count as a ruin, but still functions a little bit more like a hill. It's much more difficult everywhere. Generally for ruins, we only play it where climbing up and down is a difficult terrain test. Moving laterally is not. What else can I say? Oh, we don't know if Night Fight is in effect, but we'll find that out very soon. Flanks. And I think that's mostly it.
The flanks.
Oh yes, I should mention Fear the Flanks. It's a special rule we play with. We basically just tack it on to Crusade because we don't really play Crusade. And what that means effectively is unless you're deep striking, if you're coming in from normal reserve off your terrain edge, or if you're coming in outflank, you can assault. The only times you can't, in addition to that, would be if you're coming out of a vehicle that's not an assault vehicle, but other than that, you're good to go. I think that's it for terrain. We will be back after our deployments and stuff.
We have 5 objectives in this game, so I'm just going to show you where the objectives are so you know where we're going to be fighting over. We have one here by the cathedral church thing. We have one here by the crates. There's one inside this very important ruin building, right in the middle of that. And then over in this area we have 2 different ones. There's one on top of the ruined hill, and another one over here behind this stone fence. So, yeah, that's where we're going to be fighting.
Welcome to deployment. I will start over here. I have deployed an empty rhino. Next to that empty rhino, I have 10 cultists. I infiltrated up here with the oblets, and then he infiltrated next to them. Up here, I've got my havocs with auto cannons. Totally not grav cannons. I've got 2 units of plague marines, both in rhinos, and they're both inside. That's why I put the sergeants up top. 3 Nurgle spawn. 6 Nurgle bikers, and then bel'akor right next to them. And yeah, that's pretty much it for my deployment, so I will go to my reserves. So in reserve, I have a Blight drone coming in from all reserve. I have an outflanking mutilator here. And I have an outflanking squad of plague marines.
So we're going to cover my deployment, starting over here. I've got a unit of termagants hiding behind this building. I've got a screen of gargoyles running across the front. I've got my Tyranids here, the venom thrope, which I forgot to mention earlier during my army list. It's here, hiding behind everything else. I've infiltrated my exocrine, however you pronounce it here, and the Swarm Lord and his Tyrant Guards have infiltrated as well to this spot. Over here, the other exocrine has infiltrated here. I've got a swarm of Rippers hiding behind the cathedral, and inside this building here I have my warriors here to give some synapse to the units around them. And that's it for people who are deployed on the table right now, so we'll go over to my reserves. Here we got my pod with zoanthropes. There is this squad of gene stealers. They're going to be outflanking, as are these gene stealers, and then these termagants with devourers and flesh borers are inside this Tyrannid site. Okay, so I'm going to try to seize the initiative here. So, alien technology. No. Unfortunate.
End of chaos, turn 1. Starting over here. My cultists kind of rolled a 1 for difficult, then ran to the building, so they're kind of in that ruin, trying to get close to the objective. This rhino moved up 6, just kind of chilled on the objective, didn't have a shot or anything. These guys moved up 6 and engaged with the gargoyles. I also used Burning Brand, so there's some splash damage. I think I put a couple wounds and killed one of the hive guard that was there, which was also assisted by the autocannons who fired beforehand. This guy had moved 12 and snap fired the combi bolters on top there. Didn't do much. Moving down, these spawn had visibility cast on them and they made a successful charge. I believe they scored 1 wound in combat, and it had already suffered a wound beforehand from shooting, so that's cool. They're invisible and very annoying. This rhino moved up 6. Don't think it fired. bel'akor moved about 12. Cast Shrouding, I think, so it spans out 6 inches and helps these guys. Bikes also engaged with him and caused a wound on him, so that's cool. That's pretty much it. Waiting for a plane to come in and waiting for some outflankers. So we'll see you at the end of Tyranid turn 1.
Alright, so we're at the end of Nid's turn 1. We're just going to start over on this side. I moved the Rippers from out behind the cathedral. They're coming up this flank. This Exocrine came out this way and fired his dick gun over here and miraculously blew up a rhino, earning me first blood for like the first time in 7th ed, probably. And it's probably the first time ever that Nids have blown up a vehicle.
Ever.
So that was pretty shocking, and I almost put a wound on bel'akor, but he got lucky.
Yeah.
The warriors are still in here providing synaptic support. Over here, this fight continued. The Exocrine, he actually managed to land a hit, but he couldn't wound anyone. The Spawn also put a wound on him, so he's down to 2 wounds now. I tried to charge the bikers here with the gargoyles who jumped in, but I lost like 5 of them to Overwatch, which was pretty surprising.
5 out of 10 hits.
And somehow I didn't roll a 12 for my charge range. I don't know how that happened.
How did that happen?
Over here, the Tyranids, he fired his acid spray over at the bikers, and he killed 2 of them, I think. He killed either one or 2 of them.
One of them.
One of them? Killed one of them. Okay. He killed one Nurgle biker with his acid spray. Venom Throat is hugging cover to provide shrouded to these guys. Swarmlord, I kind of forgot he couldn't assault as he infiltrated. But he basically, what he did is he cast Catalyst on himself and on the Tyranids, so they're both rocking Feel No Pain for this coming turn. And he also cast Paroxysm on Baron Samdi and the Obliterators, so they have -1 ballistic skill and weapon skill during this coming turn, even though they all have flamers, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's it for Tyranids turn 1. We'll see you at the end of Chaos turn 2.
So, it is the end of Space Chaos Space Marines turn 2. All my reserves came in, so that's pretty sweet. Light Drone came in, makes me happy, flew an 18. I had some Plague Marines coming off this edge outflanking. Fired 2 plasma at Swarmlord, and they both died from overheats, an insane amount of overheats. Rhino remained where it is, as you can see it here. In this building, the cultists are kind of occupying it. These guys fired 2 plasmas at Swarmlord, but didn't really do very much. My warlord, Baron Samdi, foolishly and rashly charged Swarmlord. And Swarmlord just effortlessly cut his fucking head off and didn't even blink, so lesson learned there on the instant death. But I'm going to restate that as a casual player. You should have let me retake that because I didn't know something. Back to a normal person. Moving on. Let's do a Rhino. It just fired its Combi Plasma at these guys. Didn't do anything, I don't think. They made the 2+ cover. Plague Marines got out. They killed the last 2 gargoyles that were right there. This combat involving the Exocrine and the 3 Spawn ended with me putting the final 2 wounds on him. And it's funny because the last 2 rounds I kept rolling 4+ armor save for myself. Cast successfully Shrouding, so helping these homies. Failed to cast both Shriek on Big Boy and failed to cast Invisibility on the bikes. So, he's got a couple wounds left. I think I did, a few from these guys, was it? Or someone else?
Yeah, it was the bikes.
Yeah. Bike shot, Plasmas over here also shot. And I think the autocannons threw their weight behind that as well because they had a decent angle. Last but not least, all the way over here on the flanks, my Lone Mutilator came in, and with our Fear the Flanks rule we play with, was allowed to charge. I got a couple bases of Rippers, and he put a wound on me, so no harm, no foul there. So far interesting. All my stuff is in, so we're waiting for the inevitable reserves from the Tyranids. We'll see you at the end of Tyranid turn 2.
This is the end of Tyranids turn 2, and already we've had a ton of action, even though it's only the 2nd turn. So we're just gonna start over on this side. The Mutilator this fight continued over here. I got 2 wounds on him, but unfortunately I failed to kill him, and then he used his power fists and took out 2 or 3 bases of Rippers. Luckily they're just barely in synapse range from the warriors who are parked here, so they're still holding into combat, but it's getting pretty close, yeah. And then moving over here, there was a combat with the Exocrane and the bikes. They ended up jinking, which saved their ass, kind of. When I shot my plasma blast at it and I hit 5, but because they jinked, I wasn't able to actually kill any.
2+ bullshit.
Yeah, and then when I assaulted them, their plasma gunner killed himself. And then I charged into them, and I failed to kill any of them.
Oh, you killed 2?
Did I kill 2? Oh, okay, so I killed 2 of them, actually. And then the Sargento came up with his power axe and chopped him in the head and killed him.
Only that was a challenge.
Yeah. And then he became a demon prince. Yeah. I tried to kill bel'akor using my newly dropped spore pod with the gaunts, and they just shot a shitload of rounds of these guys at bel'akor, and he took a whole bunch of wounds, but he ended up jinking.
2+
jink bullshit, and didn't take any wounds. And then over here, I charged the spawn. First, I fired an acid spray at them, and I got a couple wounds. I got 1 wound on him, and then I fired a desiccator larvae at them as well, and then that finished them off, killing one of them. And then, so I charged them with the Tyrannifex and the Venomthrope. Venomthrope got 2 wounds on this guy here, whereas the T-Fax did absolutely nothing, unfortunately. They were also affected by paroxysm from the Swarmlord, which made them -3 weapon skill and ballistic skill.
Wah, wah.
And speaking of Swarmy, he cast Dominion, which has extended his synapse range to 18 inches. So it's helping out those guys over there, and these guys, and the guys in combat. And he and his Tyrant Guard assaulted the Obliterators, and they got really lucky on their invulnerable saves, so they actually managed to stay in combat. And then they went and power fisted and killed my Tyrant Guard, and yeah, and so they're holding up pretty well, but I wouldn't expect that to last forever. Over here, Termagants, they moved out this way and fired some shots at the Plague Marines, but unfortunately did not kill any. And lastly, Gene Stealers came in from the flanks, and because of our awesome special rules, they were able to get an assault in. So they assaulted the cultists and stole their genes. Unfortunately, they weren't able to steal anything off of the Rhino here, but because all the cultists ran away, they all just piled in and are now assaulting the Rhino. And that does it for Tyranid turn 2. Well, we'll be tuning back in for Chaos turn 3.
So it is the end of Chaos Space Marines, aka Deathwatch turn 3, starting over here. Drove away from these gene stealers. I didn't want them stealing my Levi's jeans out of this Rhino. Bad joke. He shot back at them, doing literally nothing. Moving over here, these autocannon guys, Havocs fired into them, and I think I killed like 2? 3 maybe?
I think it was 2.
Play drone, switched into hover mode, took a dangerous, and then flew down here. Flamed 10 gaunts, killing 9 of the 10. A bunch of stuff happened, obviously. There was shooting into the gaunts. These units charged the gaunts. We fought and slaughtered the gaunts. So, that's the remnants there. Moving over here. bel'akor, still deathly afraid of getting into combat because he's more of a supporty guy. Just kind of chilled. He managed to get Shroud off again, but didn't get anything else off. I'll pull his jinking thing now. Rhino that was here smashed through a destructible wall, knocked it over, didn't get it dangerous, and then shot at those gaunts, killing 1, I believe. That was fun. That unit of Plague Marines fired their bolt pistols at the gaunts, also killing 1 and then failing a charge with Snake Eyes, so that was fun. Moving down over here, Andalus finally killed my 1 spawn, but the other one is still alive, so the combat's still kicking. Spawn doing what they do, being annoying and lagging time. Over here, the combat finally ended with my mutilator. He killed the last of the guys, making them run off the board there, and then he ran 6 inches consolidation. So overall, interest. Oh yes, yeah, can't forget this. Swarmlord. I charged in with 5 Plague Marines, having to challenge, of course. He managed to swipe back, killing 4 of them. Then I managed to put 1 wound on him with a Power Fist. So that combat is, of course, still continuing. So yeah, there's still like a reserve or 2 for Andalus, so we'll see you at the end of Tyranid turn 3.
Nids turn 3. Just start over here. I started moving my warriors out to try to get to this objective over here. They fired their Death Spitters and Barb Strangler at the Mutilator, and unfortunately did not do any damage at all. So that is going to be a fight for the ages in a turn or 2. My Zoanthropes came in this turn in their Tyrannocyte, so they just dropped here, landed on target, they jumped out. They tried to Spirit Leech the Bikers that were here, but unfortunately they failed. But this Tyrannocyte actually went and just shot them anyway and killed them all. So it was pretty good. They also tried to Warp Lance the Blight Drone here, but it jinked, so I was unable to do any damage to it, unfortunately. Over here, the Tyrannofex and Venomthrope finally managed to kill that last spawn. The Venomthrope just did it, even though it just rolled 6 attacks and poison, so that would have been pretty nasty if it had pulled it off, but luckily Venomthrope is clutch. Meanwhile, over here, these Gene Stealers, they went and assaulted the Rhino here and destroyed it, so now they're in cover on top of an objective with no line of sight on the Havoc, so that's good for me.
Ha ha, rules.
Yeah. Over here, the Swarmlord, he killed the other 2 Obliterators here, and these Gaunts had also charged in to kill the Obliterators if I needed it, but since they died, the Gaunts are now stuck outside of combat. Over here, my other squad of Gene Stealers with the Broodlord came in from the edge of the board, and there were 2 Plague Marines here, and they stole their genes as well. They just gave them an Atomic Wedgie as predicted. So yeah, the only other thing that happened this turn was that this Tyrannocyte fired at bel'akor, but he's got 2+ cover, so it did not do anything to him. And that's it for my turn 3, and I guess we'll see you at the end of Chaos turn 4.
It is the end of Chaos turn 4. Starting over here. Havocs fired at the Zoanthropes, causing a wound, I believe. Mm-hmm. My Blight Drone was jinking anyway. I just hopped back 12 in hover mode, and I shot an autocannon that here doing nothing. My 3 Plague Marines charged the Zoanthropes, killing 2 in combat and losing 1 of their own. Moving on down, bel'akor got up some bolts. Still failed to get off invisible, but charged all the same. And I think I did 2 wounds, but he saved them both. And he put a wound on me, but we're all fearless. So. La-di-da. Very interesting. He has 2 wounds left. I have 2 wounds left. Who knows what will happen there. And of course, my Rhino moved up to about 18 inches there to be where it is.
You also...
what's that? What do you do?
Psychic Scream.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I forgot. There was a giant Tyrannofex here. I Psychic Screamed and did 6 wounds from bel'akor, so that is like the highlight of everything. Total MVP moment. And last but not least, my guy over here, he just kind of moved around the corner to hide from the warriors and hopefully get within 3 inches of that objective on the 5th turn. I think that's pretty much it. We'll see you at the end of Tyranid turn 4.
So that's the end of Nid's turn 4. We're going to start down over here. So the warriors, they started moving up around here, and because the mutilator's hiding behind the chapel, they couldn't shoot anything, so they just started running towards the objective for the big clash for turn 5. Over here, Zoanthrope was killed in combat by these 2 Plague Marines, and so they consolidated over this way, while the 2 Tyrannocytes fired at the Havocs, killing 2 of them. And unfortunately, they passed their leadership test, so I was unable to make them run off the board. But You win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
Over here, the Venom Thrope moved onto the objective, and the Gene Stealers attacked bel'akor, but Swarmlord and him, they were dueling, and bel'akor wasn't able to get a wound in on Swarmlord, and in turn he went and just slashed him with his bone swords and got 2 unsaved wounds and managed to fell him with that. And honestly, I'm just shocked that bel'akor didn't kill me when he first came in. So yeah, Swarmy's a beast when he wants to be. And actually, he made his points back. That like never happens. But yeah, and then the only other thing this turn was Termagants moved onto this objective here, while Gene Stealers back here just hung around. And also, I guess I should also say that he cast Paroxysm on bel'akor, which helped in the combat for me to hit him on 3s. He also cast Feel No Pain on himself and Dominion, so he's got his synapse range spread out a little further. And so yeah, that's it for this turn. It was pretty quick, and yeah, we'll see you at the end of Chaos turn 5.
This is the end of Chaos, aka Death Watch turn 5, starting there. So I charged in with my Mutilator, and I elected to use Chain Fists, so I was going last, and he got 3 wounds on me and killed me. So that objective is very much in control of Tyranid warriors. Moving over here. These guys move back onto the objective because they have objective secured. They fired a couple shots here, doing a wound or 2. But he still got 3 wounds left, so yeah. Havoc's up here, kind of chilled. They fired at the Gene Stealers, doing a couple wounds, I think.
They killed like 3 of them, I think.
Oh, that's pretty good. He remained in hover mode, moved 12, and fired the big battle cannon thing, killing 1, I think, 1 or 2. This guy moved in 12, then another 6 in the shooting phase, just to get within 3 inches of the objective because he has objective secured. In the combat, Swarmlord finally killed the last remaining Plague Marine, so he is free from combat where he has been all game. So, interesting stuff. We'll see you at the end of Tyranid turn 5.
So that's it for the last turn of the game, Tyranid's turn 5. We're just going to go and show you what happened this turn. So the Warriors, fresh off killing the Mutilator, they've moved in onto the objective over here and capped that. Over here we have the Tyranids just
30
closing
shots.
the gap. Yeah, 30 shots in on these Plague Marines. They got a surprisingly high number of hits, but they only actually managed to kill the Sergeant, and the other guy held it.
I made 4 saves, failed the last one, then made the Feel No Pain.
Yeah, and then there was like
Wild.
and the other guy had like 4 hits on him or something.
Wild.
Over here, Swarmy charged in on the Blight Drone or Plague Drone or whatever. He also tried to cast Dominion. It worked, but he perils and took a wound off himself. So
Almost died.
There was a certain amount of risk of if this blew up, it would actually kill him. But luckily, I only immobilized it. And then over here, the remnants of the Gene Stealers and the Venom Thrope charged in on the Rhino. And unfortunately, Gene Stealers are pretty inconsistent when they get that low, so they didn't do any damage. And at that point, the Venom Thrope couldn't do anything. So that Rhino is completely in good health, not endangered at all. Over here, the Gene Stealers just stayed on this objective again, just held it for the end of the game. And same with these Gaunts, they were just holding it and chilling out and eating Doritos probably. So we're just going to do a end of the game point recap and everything for objectives. So I managed to get first blood on my first turn, I believe, the Exocrine.
Yeah, you popped the Rhino.
Yeah. I also got Warlord when I killed Baron Samdi, and my pods are actually getting Line Breaker for me. So that's, I got 3 points from secondaries, but Ben unfortunately did not get any secondary objectives. Although Swarmlord was really close.
Very close, very close.
Yeah, one wound left.
Yeah.
So moving over to each individual objective, the Warriors own this one, so that puts me up 3 more points. So currently we are at 6-0 for the in favor of the Nids. Over here, this Lone Plague Marine, because he has objective secured, he is securing this objective despite having these 2 horror eggs coming in after him, the Geiger eggs or whatever you want to call them. So that makes it 6-3 currently. Over here, because the Gene Stealers and the Rhino both have objectives secured, this objective is contested, so no points are gotten there. And then over here, we have the Gene Stealers holding this objective, which gives me another 3 points. So 9-3 in that case. And then this last objective is completely secured by me, so that puts us up to a grand total of 12 points in favor of the Tyranids and 3 points for the Chaos Marines. And yeah, so we'll see you in the post-game show.
Welcome to the post-game show. You just watched us play 2,000 points off Nids on Chaos, and you totally didn't fast forward and watch the entire thing because you're a good person. So yeah, Andrew, let's start right off the bat with your MVP. Because I have no idea who it'll be.
Yeah, no, there's no possible way that...
Yeah.
But I mean, it's between Gods sitting on objective or Swarmlord who killed like 850, what was it,
48% of my list.
Yeah, he killed like
45% of my list.
He was insane. This might be the best I've ever had with Swarmlord since like early 6th Ed.
I think he's part samurai, part Tyranid.
Yeah. To be fair, he got pretty lucky not getting smoked by bel'akor though. Like,
it came close.
Yeah, I was expecting bel'akor to take him out on the turn he came in, but I also had Field of Pain on him, so that helped him a little. It helped him quite a bit. That helped him a lot.
I think if I think back, I'd do it again still. Not the initial charge with my Warlord. That was a bad idea.
Yeah.
But, with bel'akor, I had a chance. He only had tunes left. I mean.
Yeah. No, you definitely had a very fair chance to take him out there.
What about your epic fail?
My epic fail?
No.
My epic fail is definitely infiltrating the Exocrine, which immediately put me in range of spawn. I totally forgot.
Was that because he has short range?
Yeah.
Or 24 or something?
He has 24-inch range. Yeah, I was my plan had been to stick them up front. And then that way they can shoot up front, and also my whole like game plan for this game was to have like insane threat overload. So I wanted to be shooting at him with those things like first turn, so then he's focusing on trying to kill them. But then second turn, my pods are coming in, my Gene Stealers are coming in off the flanks, and all of a sudden he's completely overwhelmed with targets. Yeah, but unfortunately, because the Exocrine was there, and because the spawn were so close, and I also forgot that they could charge. I had 6th Ed in mind, where the person who went first couldn't charge.
And it's two things too. It's not just that. It's also like it's easy to forget they move 12. It's
and that too as well.
They're fast.
But yeah, so that also screwed me up because then I couldn't get past them.
Yeah.
So they blocked off a whole section of there. But so that was definitely my biggest tactical blunder. You could also say that with Swarmy not being able to charge Samdi on the first turn. Like I was getting him into a position where he could.
Yeah.
But then Ben reminded me that you can't charge after infiltration, and I was like, oh shit.
And I forget that all the time.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to remember.
So yeah, but luckily that all worked out in the end. But so Exocrine was he was my epic fail of the game, and it was all my fault.
My MVP. bel'akor.
For sure.
I was not gonna go that way, but that one shriek that was just like vicious.
Well, that alone was 185 points, and plus with just the casting invisibility and shrouding. Shrouding alone was a pain in my ass.
If I can get him to do that to Riptines, I would take him like all the time. But it's so it's nice. It is good that he hits on 2. It's nice to be a.
But against Riptide too, they get infall.
Yeah, true. But you know what? It might be a 5. Like if he doesn't have the shield up, it might be a 5. If it's turn 1, like if I'm going first,
I just didn't have anything I could do against it.
Epic fail. Samdi, because although I can rationalize that because I was so close to Swarmlord, you were gonna charge me anyway. Like I may as well just get it over with because I had gone too deep before really thinking like, oh, strength 10. That's a problem. So I have that habit of all of a sudden thinking like because my spawn are toughness 6, like everything's toughness 6. So it's like the spawn and the blanks make me feel like I'm toughness 6 with everything. So no, I mean like I regret it. It was dumb. It was definitely the epic fail because just the math on it straight up was not good, and the fact that just all you need is one hit to take me down. So
yeah.
If I had a better invul, maybe.
And even if you hadn't, I was going to charge him anyway.
Yeah.
So.
One of my big limitations with the fucking not plague lords, but the Nurgle is that I understand Market Nurgle won't give you feel no pain, but I just wish there was a war gear piece I could get that would do it. Like I hate having to go for the fucking gift table and I paid for my gift and I got Mechtoid, which gave my guy with 2+ armor a 2+ armor save. Thanks, Jervis. Good guy. So I mean, I don't regret charging, but I regret charging. So
yeah, again, like it was his best chance to actually do anything.
I got too deep. I mean, I
too deep, man.
It's tough too. Oblits are weird because I find with Oblits, if the plan isn't like shoot the fuck out of it, charge it, kill it with fists, all of their prowess for combat goes away, and it's just sort of like this weak unit that it's not a lot of shooting to take.
I think they did put 2 wounds on Swarmy.
Yep. And they did miraculously pass, like, what was it, like 4 fucking 5+?
That was insane.
I can't pass a single fucking feel no pain except for like once or twice this game, which was key. Like here, that
they were in that combat for a long time too. Yeah. Actually, they after that, then I got charged by Plague Marines, and then I had to focus on the Plague Marines for 1 turn, I think, before I turned around and killed them. But
Plagues were not great this game either. When the guys I'm all excited to outflank with Plague Marines, come in, shoot the 2 plasmas, and then just I overheated with like 2 of the 4 shots, but that was like just all.
Yeah, that might have actually been your epic fail.
That was so funny. Yeah.
I think that's more of a random epic fail.
Yeah, I usually like putting epic fail either based on performance or just being dumb. Like
it also didn't help that their outflank got outflanked by Broodlord.
Counterflank. Let's talk about that actually. Fear the Flanks.
Yes.
That made this game, I think, for both of us more enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
I think it didn't skew anything because really I had 2 outflankers, you had 2 outflankers, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So like realistically, we could have each had 4 outflankers, but plenty of trade-offs between infiltration and outflank, and that's what I like. Is you kind of don't want all your eggs in one basket. If you have them all outflanking and I infiltrate on you, I'm going to get surrounding you.
It's also completely arbitrary that if you outflank a shooty unit, it can come in and be at the exact same effectiveness. Whereas if you have an assault unit, it comes out, it can't do anything for some reason. It makes absolutely no sense.
Well, let's highlight that too, because that was Gene Stealer's fucking thing.
Yeah.
Always was like, oh no, they came out of the ruin. Or,
whenever you have Gene Stealers in the list, they're just like, they fear the flanks.
They are
literally cannot
quintessential assault unit, right? Like think Space Hulk. That was the whole idea. They don't shoot. They just keep coming at you. They're nids, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you can still fuck them over too if they're in cover and then they strike in initiative 1, but like even then.
But it's just shitty, man, because you're right. Even deep strike, like in terms of disruption, it's like, well, if he shoots, he's still doing something. You know, he comes down, can't assault me, but he has a lot of shooting.
I can understand in terms of deep strike because he can literally show up anywhere on the board. Whereas with outflank, there's a certain amount of it. It's same with reserves. Like even just regular reserves, there's a limit on it where I can understand, or I can't understand why they can't.
No, especially stuff that was always countercharge.
Yeah.
Like why would I ever even consider opens if I can't keep them in reserve for when my line is weakest and come in and
why would I consider Gene Stealers in regular 40k? It makes no sense. Like and even if you infiltrate, you can't assault on the first turn. Even if they come at you, it makes.
And the thing that makes it more egregious too is the fact with the formations and crap now they're bringing it back, but like super selectively. Like that one unit can assault after deep strike, or that one unit can whatever. It's just it should have been a core thing, man. We've already said our piece on. So I'm sure we'll come to that later.
I don't know if I've said my piece on it.
We'll come back to it in a minute. We'll do shit talk.
We don't have to. It's just.
Oh no, we will.
Awful.
They are. Before we move on to the Shake on 40k, 2 minutes or less overall thoughts on the game. What did you learn early on?
This is my first game with NIDS in probably around 2 years. Like I think I played 1 or 2 games of them when the 6th Ed Codex dropped. And
don't want too much.
Absolutely hate them. Well, I like to have I like to tell people when I see this book, and like I open it up, and every single page I go through it, I just look at the options, and I just go, this is so fucking dumb.
That's how I feel when I look at the Orc Codex.
Like every choice in that book is just makes no sense.
Tiny little violin.
It's such a terrible book. On this plus side, when they added Tyranids in that Leviathan patch, you could call it, the Leviathan patch actually made it so that they could potentially do something, because before every single unit in the army had to foot slog up the table unless you like made them come out of a Trigon tunnel or something or outflanked, but they were always going to get shot up. There was no chance that they stood at whatsoever, and then they got nerfed. Like they got nerfed even worse than they were before. Like they were pretty bad in 5th ed. When 6th ed dropped, it inadvertently made them better. And I'm probably over 2 minutes now, but anyway.
Bring it back to the game.
But yeah, and then when 6th ed dropped, they made them worse than they were.
Factoring all that in. With two fairly casual lists for both of us, like I didn't have a Flyrant, I didn't have Biowars, like I don't think I took anything that was egregious by any means. When two casual lists go against each other, NIDS can be pretty fun. And especially when we play with house rules where you're allowed to assault out of outflank, like I wouldn't have even taken Gene Stealers. I wouldn't have even considered Gene Stealers if I couldn't do that. Yeah.
So I guess my overall thoughts is, if you play 40k for fun, NIDS are a blast. Yeah.
I'll try and keep it 2 minutes too. I think, again, for me, I hadn't played like a full-blown Chaos game in a while. I played a little one in 1250, but definitely rusty. I like that both our armies had a similar vibe in so much that although we both had shooting, it was really about combat, especially the fact that it was all about the combats that we know we can't push. Like, they're going to go and they're going to fizzle out to the end because everyone's fucking fearless. So we know that, like, holding each other in certain places was crucial. And we saw that, too. Like, here it was nice because I could block you off a bit. You had to go that way.
Yeah, like there was combats there for almost the whole game.
Yeah. And then you came on, it was like, oh no, I have to reassess. I liked all the maneuvering and I liked the action reaction of it. That was really fun. Mm-hmm. I probably should have split up the Oblets. I was so dead set on, for whatever reason, putting them with the Lord, but when I really think about it, all that's doing is making them one fucking target, and the only benefit is blight grenades. If I'm already planning on getting charged, I'm dumb. I'd rather just be 3 targets and have one of them charged, and that's probably smarter. So, and it's dumb. I'm saying that too because I only took the 2 heavy supports. Like I had space to just split them up into 2 units, so I should have done that. But I really did enjoy this. It felt very back and forth. It was very much about maneuvering, and that's probably the funnest kind of game where you can feel the ebb and flow.
Yeah, I think numbers were a big part of it too.
Yeah. We actually didn't have massive lists. Like you had one big unit of Griblies, but for the most part, other than the Gargoyles.
Yeah, and they were kind of a fail on my part. They came in and didn't really do anything. They killed 2 plague marines.
It was a nice model count for both sides, I feel. Because there was, my biggest unit was the 10 cultists, but you got those guys real quick.
I was hoping to get it with Spear Leech, but that didn't work.
I like that what got them was like NIDS coming out the flank. Like they should have just like ripped them a new asshole. Like I think that was fun.
Yeah.
I said fun. That's scary.
Fun in 40k.
I don't know. I'd say my list. If I had the Mauler Fiend done, I probably would have been happier. But realistically, like I was taking fucking bel'akor, so I sunk a lot of points. And bel'akor, I realize, is probably better for demons, just because, although it's nice to have invul, I got it off once this game. Which is why I think it's hilarious that people are always crying about psychic powers.
It is a totally broken power.
It is, but it's more just like, it's, when you compare it to all the things in the game that require no variable and are simply a decision point and have no recourse, like, it'd be hilarious if like I'm playing Ultramarines and I said I'm doing a tactical trait, I at least get a 2+, or you at least have like a dice 6, like some ability to knock it down, but you don't. So that's the thing. I think there's so many variables in play with psychic powers. Even when you have them all, it's not like they're all good. Like I had all the telepathy powers, and like 2 of them are great. One of them's pretty good. The rest of them are.
Yeah. Night Perils twice and Swarmlord.
I don't think if I did it over again, I don't think I'd take bel'akor. I think that's the only thing that really changed, and I would probably take the time to finish painting my Mauler Fiend, which I didn't do, so I didn't want to run it.
There was a lot of guys I needed to finish painting.
Yeah. But man, I'd love to do this again. Like Chaos on NIDS seems fun. I think next time we would make like the most hardcore list we could. I think it would still be pretty much on parity, only in so much that neither of us can just overload. Like, I don't think either of us could do like 300 modelists, right? Like, no matter what, I don't have that many cultists. You don't have that many Griblings, right? Or maybe you do.
I do, but they're not built or painted.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I have like 100 some Termagants, I think, or 100. I have like 120 Hormagaunts, I think.
Yeah. So
But-
final words though. Overall, I fucking loved this game. It was fun. It was decent. I liked that we had Fear the Flanks in play as always. I will preach that to the death. And let's I guess segue into everyone's favorite
Shit on 40K.
Shit on 40K.
corner.
Shit talk 40K. Shit talk 40K corner.
Okay.
Should make sure the camera's still running there.
Okay. Whoa.
Oh wait, I gotta give you the slate.
Oh my God. It's late.
The slate.
Oh.
We should write like "fuck you" Jervis on it. All right, here, hold it up. I'll stop it. Close it. 4, 3, 2, 1, do it. There we go. All right, so.
Okay, so shit on 40K corner.
The segment of time and things. I'll let you start off, Andrew, because you're far more positive than I am. So.
Am I? I'll be honest. I mean,
know the darkness.
I haven't been paying any attention to 40K lately. Or
that's why
barely
your
any.
stress level's low.
Yeah, exactly. I have barely been paying any attention to 40K. Apparently, Dark Angels got updated. I had no idea. Is that true? I actually have no idea. So
I also try to pay no attention to 40K, but it just kind of ekes in there.
yeah, and then I'll like hear that Tau just got like a giant Riptide.
They got a Riptide, made a Riptide.
Basically. Yeah.
In fairness, though, it's only probably like more ridiculous than anything else. But
Yeah, although some positivity. Well, I guess I can say that I'm very open to house rules, which make me like 40K a lot more. I actually like the idea of like fixing the game. I guess I kind of have fun with that sort of thing. So 40K has some attraction to me as a result from that. But yeah, I hate formations with a burning passion.
yep.
They
And detachments.
yeah, I even hate detachments slightly less than formations. But formations, really, I just don't understand them. Like, they're taking rules out of units that they should have and are forcing you to take certain things in order to get those rules back, which makes no sense to me. Like, isn't the whole point of 40K to do your own thing, basically? Like, especially in 7th Ed. Like, 7th Ed, they're making all these detachments and stuff in order for you to do your own thing. And
The joke we said when it came out is they've made it basically incredibly complicated, and yet at the same time there's like no regulations. So it would be like a spaghetti fucking diagram of how to set up an army, and then at the bottom of the final rule on the page, like, but none of this matters. Do what you want.
And
Like,
especially like so, it's so arbitrary too. Like the bonuses you get, and also if you're looking only for balance, it fucks over the older armies. I have a sister's army. I don't think they have any formations. Not that I would even look for them, to be honest. But I think they only have like APOC ones.
I don't know if you heard the anecdote. It was funny. I might have told it earlier. I don't know. I told it on a prior show, but Anubis, Jason, had this list, this 500-point list, and then he was looking at the new Tau stuff, and then looked at the formations attachments, and realized that, like, by saying magic fucking words, it's now the blah 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 cadre, whatever the fuck it is. So the problem, I guess, from the outset is, now that you said these magic words, got all these free rules that cost you no points, where is your incentive to go back?
Free rhinos.
Right. It's like, why would I not do this?
Yeah, it just the whole, like, the biggest, I think arguably the biggest complaint in 5th Ed was that all the lists were the same because there were so many certain things that were so good, and a lot of people are complaining about that.
People
so
didn't
why,
like mech, but mech made games fast. So
Yeah,
it was like a mixed bag.
But also, like, everyone was taking, like, if you're playing with Space Wolves, it was always a Rune Priest, Grey Hunters, and Long Fangs.
Yeah.
With missile launchers always. So, but it was like, why would we want to play 40K now where you're more or less forced to taking certain formations in order to do anything? Like, it just, I just
when
really
you see
do
an
not
army
like it.
that's like 2300 points in an 1850 point game, and it's already a game that's bloated and long, and it's just,
that's the other thing.
and then it's not even painted.
How long does this game take?
This game
10 o'clock almost?
Almost. I think it
like 9
realistically,
hours?
if you take
8
out
hours?
the meal break, we probably only spent like game time probably 5-6 hours.
Yeah, probably.
Realistically, if we had really buckled down, we could probably do it in 4.5. I think, but
yeah. But yeah, 40K takes a long time.
It does. And I mean, like, I think that's the other problem. That's what's killing it. Because I'm that asshole who in a tournament, I don't want to be your friend in so much that I'm really nice to you, but I don't want to chit-chat. I just want to finish the game. And part of me, I think, is I'm suspicious of strangers. Like it's... Slow play, unfortunately, is a strategy for some people. So if they're being really nice, talking and taking forever, like it's killing me inside.
Actually, that's another problem. Is I've got a friend, and we've been trying to do his Necrons versus my sisters for a while now. We've like tried 2 or 3 times, and we just literally do not have enough time to get our games done.
Yeah, man. I mean, it used to be you could play on a fucking like a weeknight, and now it's like, oh, we're gonna be here till 2.
Yeah, and like we're playing fast too. Like we're trying to like keep it down, like not to have too much chit chat. Like normally, like if we had like a whole day to do it, but like he's got school. The GW store is only open till 9 o'clock, and we'll get there like 4 or 5. Yeah. And it still doesn't matter. We're not able to get the game done in that time. We don't even get halfway through. Yeah. It's unfortunate. I don't know.
It's weird, man. To contrast it to the me and Jay, we didn't do a battle for it, but me and Jay just did a fun little 1250 game. Chaos on Chaos, basically mirror match. Like he's running mostly Miracle, I'm running mostly Ogre. This was last weekend, and 4x4, so not 6x4, like a smaller game board. The whole vibe was like we want to come up with a format that realistically you could do 4 games in a day and not fucking kill anybody, and maybe you could be more friendly and more casual because you have like 2 hours to play like a 1 hour game basically or whatever, right? But what was fucking great was it literally from start to end, even with chit chat and fun, was like 3 hours, and we could have done it in like 45 minutes, literally, because there's so few things to roll.
Yeah, the other nice thing about 1252 is then you can, like in smaller games especially, there's less of the bloat of modern 40k.
Yeah, to some extent. But in fairness, it does depend on the army, because with Chaos, like, there's just nothing to roll for.
What about my Imperial Knight army?
It's not an army, it's an abortion. But no, really, like it was, there's nothing to roll for. It was just like, I want to shoot that. Okay, done, your turn. Like, it was no, like, I have to test for this, and that, and that, and this, and this, and that. Even the psychic phase took like 30 seconds. It was like, okay, shriek, I missed. No, your turn.
Yeah, it's like turn 4 of this game, basically. Yeah.
Well, even today, we had decided we got a lot of time, we were going to do random game length, and then when it came down, we were looking at the watch, like, we're going to be on my 10. We were at turn 3, we both made the call, like, we're going to lock it into 5. That happened, that's the second time this happened last week too, kind of. Actually, no, last week we lucked out and had a natural ending on 5, but the plan was...
Yeah. No, I don't think I've actually done a random game in a long time either.
I'm torn. I actually think it's an excellent rule in so much as, because you can't plan knowing for sure, like
if you're running, it's a good thing if you're fighting Eldar.
Yes, oh god,
then they can't like jet bike their stuff in there, and if they do,
keeps it honest.
They have to worry about getting counter assaulted by you that turn or whatever. So.
And I think there's a difference too, if you're going into it knowing it's hinting on 5 and playing to that, like nothing wrong with that, but it's weird when you don't know that, then you do know that.